In this video, I'll show you how to do an RFP, a request for payment, in Emburse Enterprise. Before we get started, it is important to know DMAC's payment processes. Please pause this video now to review the many ways in which we process payments here at the college. I'll be showing you 3 different slides that detail the different types of requests for payment we have at the college. Feel free to pause the video so you can read through those. Okay, so you'll first access Emburse Enterprise through our single sign-on link, and you'll find that in My DMAC. Okay, once you're in Emburse, you will see your dashboard. From your dashboard, you will look down below. In green, you will see Invoices. You'll just click on this plus create button here to get started. Before we begin, I'll take you through a brief overview of the various fields within Emburse Invoice. Remember, an RFP, a request for payment, is really for only when you're directly paying someone and you don't have an invoice on hand. For an example, this one that we're going to do together, this is an agreement for contracted services. It's got the vendor name up top. It's got the cost. It's got the mailing address for where we send the check. So it's got all the pertinent details on here, and then also included is an email just saying that this person fulfilled their duties. They did perform at the gourmet dinner. So both of those things are going to be attached to this RFP. Vendor name. So this information comes directly from Banner. So if you begin to type in the vendor name, or if you know the vendor 900 number, you can type that in to populate the vendor name. We also have a wildcard in here, the asterisk. If you use the asterisk before or after a word, it can also populate vendor names that way. Vendor address. These also come directly from Banner. So after you've found the vendor name, you will use the vendor address field to populate the remittance address of the vendor. Some vendors have multiple addresses, so please be aware when you are selecting from the dropdown. Invoice numbers should not be more than 35 characters, and special characters are allowed. An RFP, request for payment, won't necessarily have an invoice number, so please put the date of the expense as the 6-digit month, day, year. For example, today is February 17th, 2026, so I would type it in as 021726. If there's a date range on the invoice, you can put it in as a 6-digit dash 6-digit for the invoice number. For example, if I was doing February 17th through February 20th, it would be 021726-022026. Stipends will use the same format for the date of the event that they were getting the stipend for in that 6-digit numbering format. So February 17th, 2026, 021726. Refunds will use capital REF and then something to identify what the refund is for along with that payment date. So example, a refund for an overpayment paid on February 17th, 2026 would be capital REF OVERPAY 021726. Okay, for Aaron Powell's RFP, request for payment, we're going to look and we're going to see when the performance was. Looks like it was January 29th, 2026. So that can be the invoice number 012926. Looking on here, it was for $300. Is this a request for payment, non-invoice payment? Make sure you check this box. This ensures that the routing goes to the proper person in the business office. Special handling. Use this section if you'd like to designate someone to pick up the check, or if you'd like us to intercampus mail the check. Pick up check. Only use this feature if you or someone else plans to pick up the check from the business office. Use this dropdown and select Yes, Pick Up By, and then use the box to search for the person who plans to pick up the check. Handling options. This allows you to check a box here and then enter a person's name, campus, and building number if you'd like us to send the check via intercampus mail. Comments. This section here allows you to enter in a comment in the box and then click Post to add any additional information that will be helpful to yourself, the budget manager, or the business office. Attachments. Here is where you attach your invoice via a PNG, JPEG, PDF, XLS, doc, rich text file. The system usually likes an image file or PDF. So if you try to upload a Word document or an Excel file and it gives you an error, I would suggest saving your document as a PDF and try uploading it that way. Extract data. Emburse Invoice has the ability to read your entire invoice and flood in all the fields for you using AI. But on a request for payment, we ask that you skip the invoice extraction. Line item section. So you can actually drag this line item section by putting your cursor over these lines here and then just dragging up to give you more room. Okay, for Aaron Powell's RFP, request for payment, it was for $300. And if we are looking for a description, we're just going to put musician for French chef. And then we'll put GD for gourmet dinner, and then on 129.26. And we'll charge that to 6268 account code. And the CULASS index will pay for that. And then I'm going to hit save. When you are all finished, you will click submit, and then you'll click approve. You will see here it says approval confirmation. Your invoice will still move on to your budget manager. So if you're not needing to put an additional reviewer, you don't have to do this section, it's optional. But if you'd like to loop someone else in on the approval, you can certainly do so. For this particular RFP I'm showing you in this training, the person putting this in wanted the ICI director to be looped in as well. So we're going to go ahead and do that here in this sample just to show you what it looks like. And then you'll click approve to move the invoice along. Tracking your invoice can be done by using the following steps. Click View All Submitted under the green invoice header on your Emburse dashboard. Once you do that, you'll click on the invoice. After you click the invoice, you will see tracking on the top right area of your screen. Click that. Then you'll click Show Projected to see all of the routing steps. If you need to edit an invoice that you've already submitted, you can recall an invoice or RFP, request for payment. When you do that, it will put the item in an orange approval queue where you can edit the invoice and resubmit it for approval. If you wish to delete a recalled invoice or an invoice that you submitted, you can email accountspayable@dmac.edu or reach out to me, lapray@dmac.edu, and we can get it deleted. After your invoice has been submitted, it will be routed accordingly. If your invoice is in the AP invoice review queue by the end of business day Thursday without issue, it will be paid during the next Wednesday check run. Supplemental documentation that needs to go along with the check will need to be attached along with the invoice and then noted in a comment. Use banner screen FAIVNDH to see the status of your check. Please refer to my video on the DMAC Business Office YouTube page to see how to use this screen. If you're going to add a new vendor to the system or update a current vendor's address, you will need to email accountspayable@dmac.edu along with the vendor's W-9. Accounts Payable can make the change in Banner, and then the next day the information will be available in Emburse. Thank you for attending this training. Effective the week of February 23rd, 2026, confirming invoices, blanket PO invoices, and requests for pay must be submitted through Emburse Enterprise. If you're looking for training materials such as the payment process guide or account code information, you can find that at businessoffice.dmac.edu. Thank you so very much for taking the time to watch this training. If you have any questions about Invoice, please reach out to accountspayable@dmac.edu. Thanks and have a great day.